title of this video is simply GOAT. And no, I am not talking about the one donning this logo and wearing number 12. No, 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 no. This GOAT is a million times much more special than that. I am talking about the amazing, the epic, and the iconic person known as John Earl Madden. I didn't even know that was his middle name, so as a football fan, I'm honored to share that, have that same middle name. Uh, what can I say about John Madden that has already been said? It not only hasn't already been said, but it hasn't already been repeated. It's been repeated over and over, and it's worth repeating. The man was a legend, an icon in every facet, as a coach, as a personality, especially as a broadcaster. I grew up with that voice. Well, voices, him and Pat Summerall. It was those two on literally a bunch of networks. Of course, I think during my childhood, because I'm a child in the 90s, I think they were on CBS at the time. But they became the top voices on Fox when the NFL on Fox started around 90. Was it 90, 94 when it started? But it was them. But they always did. What they remember, they always did Cowboys games. They always did the Cowboys games, and yeah, Emmitt Smith's name was a name I heard a lot from those two. Another, of course, as we all know, was Brett Favre. John Madden just had that big fandom of number 4. But yeah. But yeah, I grew up with those voices, with John Madden serving as the color analyst, the greatest ever. Not just in football, I think he's pretty much the greatest in any sport, really. And of course, that was a duo on Fox. And of course, later he worked with Al Michaels on Monday Night Football. I think it was during Monday Night Football's last year's in ABC, because I remember they hired him to make up for the strange hiring decision to get Dennis Miller. So it was Al and John together on Monday Night Football, and then they were brought together again, I believe, when NBC had Sunday Night Football those first few years. And I apologize. I'm just kind of at a near loss for words because John Madden is a piece of my sports childhood. He's a piece of everybody's sports childhood. Literally pretty much any football fan in my bracket grew up with him in that booth. Of course, older people got to see him at the sidelines coaching the Raiders for all those years. He was their head coach for 10 seasons. Had a great record. Great record. Only won one Super Bowl. Super Bowl 11 was his one great claim to fame as far as rings and hardware. But even so, his overall records were amazing. In regular season alone, 103 wins, only 32 losses. Only 32 losses and 7 ties. 9-7 career playoff record. Overall, 112, 39, and 7. Not even 40. Even if you add up everything, it's still not even 40 losses. Never had a losing season. Never. I think literally every coach since him has kind of, well, I think they've at least tried to kind of live up, not match, but at least live up to that standard. And you know every color analyst in football that's out there now has pretty much tried to live up to that standard as well. But yeah, we lost a great man, a great figure in football uh, yesterday, and and the thing was it was 3 days after, and I swear I am going to watch that documentary. It's on Peacock. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it very soon. Um, it was and my eyes won't be dry. They won't be. I'm just going to put that out there. Um, it was 3 days before this, on Christmas Day, that Fox aired the documentary All Madden before their coverage of Browns Packers, and little did we know that it kind of served as like a an eventual goodbye. It's just, I don't know, but as I said, the absolute goat. There's no question about that. So, of course, the team he coached, the Raiders, had kind of a big win. Had a big win. Couple of, this past Sunday, they beat the Broncos to kind of stay alive in the playoff race. Um, the next game is a home game, so well, it won't be just them honoring Madden. I'm pretty sure all of the 16 stadiums hosting games in week 17, the upcoming week 17, will have some tribute to John Madden. It won't be just the Raiders. Um, but yeah, the Raiders got a big win this past Sunday, so they're still alive in the race. They're still alive in the race. I mentioned the Packers. The Packers on Christmas Day won 24-22, and yes, Aaron Rodgers, he got the record. He got the franchise touchdown record in the first quarter. The toss to Lazard, and Lazard kind of did the rest away. And of course, that was followed by Brett Favre popping up, congratulated him, he said, "You gotta do one more thing, get us another Super Bowl." And of course, Week 16 started with the Thursday night football season finale. The Titans defeated the 49ers. And the weird thing is the Niners loss got Dallas in the playoffs. The the Raiders win got Dallas in the division because straight to victory played a role in that. I think it was the Falcons and Raiders win that got out of the division before they took the field and did a number on Washington, 56-14. My goodness, that was awful. And halftime was 42-7, and I, being a Packers fan, had flashbacks to when to when the Packers were up 45-0 at halftime on Sunday Night Football. I mean, how do you go on national television and lay an egg like that? Even worse, there's infighting between your two defensive players in Washington. That is a toxic team. That is a toxic team. The name was one problem they had. They got rid of that, but there's still like a million others with that team. It's ridiculous. A few other playoff spots were clinched. I said Dallas won the division. Arizona backed into a playoff spot. The Eagles lost and Minnesota lost. So Arizona, who lost their third straight, also on Christmas, back to a playoff spot. Ironically, it was the Rams who beat Minnesota, and helped the division foes get in. The Rams got in themselves. Now they have the lead in the NFC West. Tampa Bay Bucks blasted the Panthers, and they won the NFC South. Something which they ironically didn't do last year, despite winning the whole thing. But so those were settled, and we finally have a playoff spot clinched in the AFC. The Kansas City Chiefs got in. They have they have the Chargers kind of they only needed a win to get in, but when the Chargers lost, when they got the AFC West for the sixth straight year, the Chargers suffered a bad upset loss to Houston, and Kansas City blasted the Steelers even without Kelsey and with minimal numbers from Tyreek Hill. That's not a good sign for the Steelers, who could be facing elimination. I don't. Could be facing elimination. Well, they are, but it won't be losing out unless the Ravens or Miami or one of those other teams wins. Um, but yeah, congrats to the Chiefs. But there's still a lot to decide in the AFC. The Bills beat New England, so they moved on top of the AFC East via tiebreaker. The Bengals win. Put the Bengals win over the Ravens, put them in sole possession of first place in the AFC North. And the Titans are still going to win the South. So there's a lot to go. And plus, how about the Dolphins? They've moved above the playoff line. They won 7 in a row after losing 7 straight. They were 1-7 out of 8-7, and they are above the playoff line via tiebreakers. The log jam still existing. It's amazing. So, what's in store? What's in store for us in week 17? The penultimate week of the season. That's right. It's the second to last week now because it's an 18-week season. Before that, 17 was the final week, and that's when things were settled. A few things might be settled this week, but some others might need week 18. But yeah, week 17, all games on Sunday except for one. What's in store? What's in store for us? Well, the Eagles are in Washington, second meeting in 3 weeks, and it's pivotal for Washington because with that loss, I think that's their third straight since going up to 500. That's their third straight loss. The next one will end their season. Rams are in Baltimore to face the Ravens. The Dolphins and the Titans face each other. All the Titans need to do is win, and they get the division. And the Dolphins are looking for their 8th straight win, and to kind of put a stranglehold on that last spot, and probably play a role in eliminating some teams in the AFC. I made the mistake saying the Raiders were at home this upcoming week. They're actually not. They're on the road against the Colts, but even so, I'm pretty sure all of the stadiums are going to have some sort of tribute to John Madden. I would think so. But the Raiders are in Indy playing the Colts. Colts are in with a win. Chiefs head to Cincy to face the Bengals. Chiefs could get the number 1 spot this week. They need a win and some help. The Bills host the Falcons. Now the AFC East cannot be clinched. But I'll delve a bit more into that when I do videos announcing the clinching scenarios. The Chargers are at home against the Broncos. The Broncos lose, they're done. And they didn't need that loss this past Sunday. They really didn't. Came at a bad time. One of the 3 big games in week 17. Cardinals head to Jerry World to face Dallas. Dallas already won the division. The Cardinals are trying to keep pace, get back on track in the NFC West, and that 3-game. It's weird with Arizona. They started 7-0, now they're 10-5. They've lost 5 out of their last 8. 4 to 5 losses were at home, and the 1 road loss was to Detroit. My goodness. So Dallas is at home against the Cardinals, and Sunday Night Football, Packers are at home against the Vikings. Why are those games important? The Packers win, if Dallas lose, we get the number 1 seed in the conference. And Monday Night Football, the Monday Night Football season finale. I always go to the final Monday game of the season. Usually it's good. In this case, it's hella good. Browns, Steelers at Heinz Field, and depending on what happens, in the games on this upcoming Sunday, this game could be an elimination game. Whoever loses is done, depending on what else happens. So that's gonna be a killer game there. But anyway, that's my recap of week 16. Week 17 is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be captivating, and most of all, for the obvious reason, it's going to be very emotional.